I was a total I was a coward, I was weak. And I'm certainly not Adonis right now, not even close. But I think I've made some pretty good progress. I went from being that stereotypical skinny neck video gamer who just ate horrible food, who eventually through puberty developed breasts like gynecomastia, like man boobs, because my testosterone was so low, my estrogen would have been so high because I was genuinely, like even hormonally a to the greatest period of discipline that I had when I was in monk mode in 2020. Because, you know, I had been stacking up the dopamine, the instant gratification for years and years and years. I was taking drugs, smoking weed, partying, hooking up with girls and everything. I know some of those things can be a lot of fun, but certainly when you overdo pleasurable things to the point that they even stop becoming pleasurable and they become more like crutches, like things you need instead of things you want, it becomes very problematic. And so, you know, stacking all these up for years at a time, just more pleasure, more pleasure, more pleasure. Well, pleasure leads to pain. And then I had the greatest bouts of depression, anxiety, feeling horrible, nihilistic, slightly suicidal. I was weak. And quite frankly, no one has ever said this to you before. I was weak and I deserved to feel trash. I was weak and I deserved to feel depressed. I was weak and I deserved to feel suicidal. No one has ever spoke like this before because it's so anti-PC, it's so offensive. But I was doing the actions that would lead to depression. I was doing the actions that would lead to feeling horrible. And so I deserve the consequences of my actions. You know, I said this once on the community posts of this channel. I said, if there's someone out there who doesn't contribute to their tribe, who just wastes away and just indulges in stimulation, they deserve to feel depressed. And the amount of guys who like, we're trying to be like cool and soft, and like, no one deserves to feel depressed, Hamza. That's really offensive. Yeah, you do. I did. 100% I did. When you do the actions that would lead a person to feel nihilistic, grey, dull, anxious, scared, weak, well then you deserve the consequences of your actions. We are men, we are not boys. We are men. That means that whatever we do, we take full responsibility for. If you feel a certain way, it's because you deserve to feel that way, because you did the actions to feel that way. If you got poor grades in school, okay, you deserve it. If you feel really bad, and dare I even say if you feel suicidal, because you have done the actions to get you there. Now pick out those times that you slacked and you know where they are, and don't be easy on yourself. Don't be soft on yourself. One of the greatest things that you can do as a young man is to be hard on yourself. I want you right now to pause the video, look at your wall, and literally pick apart those small things that you did that were not of your total potential. You start to think about that one argument from years ago. I should have said that in the argument. Then you realize you were having somewhat of a stressful / negative thought. Oh, I'm thinking about the argument again. Now, after you've realized, just direct your focus onto real life. Okay, focus. What can I feel? The air coming out of my nose. That final stage of focusing onto real life is how you reduce stress and negative thoughts. Instead of diving deep into the thought, you ground yourself in the present moment. I often get called quite insensitive when I say this, but honestly, it takes about 2 weeks to drastically improve your mental health. Even if you've lived with like bad mental health for years and years and years, even if you've been diagnosed with certain conditions, 2 weeks always shows a huge improvement if you just try to meditate and do gratitude journaling, and also try and improve some physical health things like exercise, get some sunlight, go outside, and try and improve your sleep.
Meditation is literally the skill of harnessing your attention for yourself. That's why I preach it so highly, because it's literally, I think, the #1 needed skill to fix mental health these days, because most of our mental health problems are coming from our smartphone, social media. And if you have the ability to control your attention and just, really choose, okay, how long do I want to be on Instagram right now? Like I'm on it, like I've got a new account, literally maybe 2-3 minutes a day now.
So there's certain things you can do, and it just takes minutes per day for you to improve your mental health. And I guarantee that if you improve your mental health, you will see a linear improvement to your productivity. The way you improve your mental health is through meditation, gratitude journaling, time in nature, social situations and social experiences, being around friends, and then finally some kind of physical health things, like for example, exercising, sleeping, and sunlight. Out of all of those, I'd say meditation is probably the single most important one. If you don't know how to meditate, I've got multiple videos on my channel. If you literally just search onto YouTube, Hamza meditate, I'm sure you'll be shown videos where I've explained it in like a very no bullshit manner.
Guess what that hardcore feminist will say to you when you go on a walk? Nothing, because she doesn't go outside. Guess what that racist guy? Nothing, because he doesn't go outside. Get all of these little people that you see arguing on Twitter and Reddit and like all this beef that you see. It all happens on the internet and nothing more. This is something interesting that you can try. Leave your phone behind and go for a walk and just say hello to the people that you walk past and just see what happens. See the attitude that people carry in their normal day-to-day real lives. You'll begin to see that all of that dark thing, that controversial shit, all of that hate, that negativity, it stays online. Especially
especially in terms of dating. So you're a young man watching videos like this. Chances are you're watching a lot of videos on like red pill, black pill, how to get girls, how to not get girls, why girls don't like me, why 90% of men are unattractive. This is like in its own little bubble on the internet. And you realize in the real world, no one thinks like this. You watch Fresh and Fit's podcast and you're thinking, oh yeah, these hoes, like, go on Myra, like fucking destroy these hoes. And then you go outside and none of those people are outside. Let's say you're a normal person, all you know about self-improvement is like, oh yeah, like go to the gym. But eventually you find the space online, you start finding the books of self-help and everything. Some people seem to get stuck in level 1. And I think that a fair amount of like healthy people seem to breeze past this stage. It's only because of mental health that they're stuck in stage 1, which is that they know what they should be doing. They just can't seem to do it. So for these people, for example, they would have had an idea, let's say it's exercise, and they'll be like, oh yeah, like today's the day I'm going to exercise. You know, it feels really relevant. Then they'll look back and be like, wait, it's been 3 weeks since I watched that motivational video and I said I was going to exercise again. They fall straight into the same patterns. We could grab this person, take them inside the gym with us, make them do the best workout of their lives, and they're so hyped and everything. They're not going to come again for like the next month. And it's this self-improvement depression because they are now in the space of hearing about people like me and even you yourself who have made progress, and we're talking about, you know, the fantastic like stuff that comes from this and everything, and they don't get to enjoy that. They just can't seem to get consistent in any of the habits, and it's a very, very depressing and like scary place to be.